Adult woman who eloped with class 11 student granted bail. Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act, also referred as POCSO, is a gender-neutral act. This act was introduced in India in the year 2012 to prevent children from sexual abuse and exploitation. In a recent case from Maharashtra, a 36-year-old woman was booked for eloping with a class 11 student. The accused woman is a mother of 3 children herself. This was a case where an adult woman used to meet up with a minor boy at a shrine frequented by both in the same neighborhood. The teen's father was in touch with the woman over some health issues regarding his other daughter. However, soon his minor son and the woman developed proximity with each other. The father noticed how his son was being attracted to the older woman and warned him many times. The boy was then sent to their relative's place at Old Mangalwadi to ensure that he did not come in contact with the woman. However, after a few days, the woman and the teen boy eloped with each other, after which the parents of the minor reported the matter to police. Following the Supreme Court guidelines on missing minors, the Lakadganj police station registered an offence of kidnapping against the woman. On the other hand, the woman's family too had registered a missing complaint. The matter was then referred to the Anti-Human Trafficking Unit of the Crime Branch, headed by Senior Inspector Lalita Todse, who rescued the minor. Speaking with media, Todse said, "The teenager's father was much hassled and would repeatedly approach us. The woman was handed over to the Lakadganj police station, where a case of kidnapping was registered and the teenager was reunited with his parents." Todse even added that both the teenager and the woman were counseled. According to Lakadganj police station Senior Inspector Hemant Chandevar, the accused woman was produced before the court, which later granted her bail. Once again, this case demonstrates how laws favor women even where minors are involved. If genders were reversed, an adult man would have been booked under stricter sections for eloping with a minor girl. As parents, speak with your children regularly about these issues. The only way to keep your children protected is by way of communication, where they feel comfortable to speak to you about everything, even if they are contemplating to take a step which may not be in the right direction. A bank cannot freeze husband's account on wife's complaint amidst a matrimonial dispute. Matrimonial battles can turn ugly, particularly where big money is involved. While women today are largely aware of their legal rights and tactics to extract maximum maintenance or alimony from their estranged husbands, men, on the other hand, remain clueless until they get that first call from the police station. In the current case, the Allahabad High Court ruled that a bank cannot unilaterally freeze a husband's account after receiving a request from the wife while the couple is undergoing marital dispute. What was this case about? The petitioner husband is the director of a company where he owns 41.14% shares, while his estranged wife holds 0.75% shares in the same company. The company is holding a bank account with KOTAK Mahindra Bank, which had frozen this account based on a request received from the estranged wife amidst a pending matrimonial dispute. Why did the bank do so? The wife filed a criminal complaint and approached KOTAK Mahindra Bank requesting the freezing of this company's account. The bank complied, citing internal disputes, and advised the wife to resolve the matter legally. Subsequently, the wife filed a civil suit to prevent the defreezing of this account. When the husband was unable to access his funds, he challenged the bank's action in the court, arguing that the freezing was arbitrary and in violation of statutory provisions. The petitioner thus approached the Allahabad High Court under Article 226 of the Constitution of India, seeking relief against KOTAK Mahindra Bank for freezing its account without any legal authority. According to the arguments placed by the petitioner, the bank had no jurisdiction to interfere in a private dispute and that its action on freezing of accounts violated banking regulations, specifically the conditions under which it was granted a license by the Reserve Bank of India. Now, what were the observations and the order passed by the Allahabad High Court in this matter? The division bench, comprising of Justice Ashwini Kumar Mishra and Justice Arun Kumar Singh Deshwal, observed that the banking operations in India are governed by the RBI Act 1934 and the Banking Regulation Act 1949. KOTAK Mahindra Bank, being a scheduled bank under Section 2E of the 1934 Act, is subject to RBI regulations. The High Court then went on to note that under Section 22(3) of the 1949 Act, The banks must meet specific conditions to operate, including the ability to repay depositors in full and maintaining public confidence. The court further added that a bank cannot refuse withdrawal of deposited funds unless permitted by law. When the private bank in question justified its actions by citing a contractual agreement with the account holder, the court emphasized that private banks are not immune from writ jurisdiction when their actions violate statutory obligations. Citing Federal Bank versus Sagar Thomas, the court noted that a writ petition against a private financial institution is maintainable only when statutory violations occur. Accordingly, the Allahabad High Court ruled that Kotak Mahindra Bank's unilateral freezing of the petitioner's account without any legal order violated Section 22(3) of the Banking Regulation Act 1949, and thus the bank was ordered to immediately unfreeze the petitioner's account and allow normal transactions. The court held, so far as the grievance of the respondent wife in respect of a private dispute between her and the director of the petitioner company is concerned, her remedy would be to pursue her grievance either before the competent civil court or before NCLT, where such proceedings are admittedly pending. There are otherwise no requests for stopping withdrawal of the amount in criminal proceedings. The third respondent, that is the wife, therefore would be well advised to seek appropriate direction from the competent forum in accordance with the law. Making request to the bank for freezing the account of the petitioner company would not be the proper remedy. We also hold that the respondent bank has no jurisdiction to entertain the request of the third respondent and thereby freeze the petitioner's account and deny withdrawal of amount from the bank account of the petitioner. You can read this entire Allahabad High Court order in the description link of this video. In 2018, while penning the decriminalization of adultery judgment, Justice D.Y. Chandrachud had then justified married women indulging in sexual relations outside marriage as their choice. However, India still has some sane judges who view extramarital affairs or vulgar acts by a married woman with other men as cruelty to the husband. In a recent judgment, the Madhya Pradesh High Court has granted divorce to a man under Section 13 of the Hindu Marriage Act on grounds of mental cruelty by wife against husband. The family court earlier too had granted divorce to the husband, which was challenged by the wife in the High Court. So what was this case all about? The parties got married in December 2018. The respondent husband, who works as a manager with a nationalized bank, along with his brother, had approached the woman for marriage. At this point in time, the respondent had clearly informed the appellant about his disability, that is, he was partially deaf, and only after the woman agreed, they proceeded with this marriage. However, soon after the marriage, things took an unpleasant turn and the wife returned to her father's home within 1.5 months. The main grievance of the husband was that the wife would chat with two of her lovers, discussing their intimate lives with them. When matters did not improve, the husband moved the family court for divorce. Now let us understand what were the allegations made by the husband. According to him, immediately after marriage, the appellant started misbehaving with his mother, and in April 2019, she returned to her parental home. Thereafter, the wife refused to come back to her matrimonial house. According to the husband, when his mother had suffered a fracture, his wife did not take care of her, and though she would be abusive to his mother, both the mother and the son remained mum to save this marriage. Most importantly, even after the marriage, the wife would constantly speak with two of her lovers on mobile. On one of the occasions, the husband came across extremely vulgar chats between his wife and her lover. According to him, his wife used to discuss their physical relationship with two other men. The husband then somehow managed to get hold of all these chats. But when the wife started threatening him with false cases, he registered a complaint against her at the police station. Now, incidentally, the wife had agreed then not to indulge in these acts in the future, but when she did not mend her ways, it was her own father, who is an advocate by profession, who admitted on record that his family was shamed due to his married daughter having vulgar chats with other men. Subsequently, the husband moved court for divorce. What was the defense by the wife? The wife, on the other hand, had opposed all these charges and termed them to be false and concocted. She went on to refuse any friendship or relationship with these two men in question and added that her husband had himself fraudulently sent those messages from her mobile to level fake allegations against her. The wife, in her defense, had also accused her husband of beating and insulting her and also demanding a dowry of rupees 25 lakh. So what was the family court decision in this matter? The family court in Ujjain went through all the evidences on record and noted the statements of witnesses from all sides. In June 2023, the additional principal judge allowed the husband's petition filed under Section 13 of the Hindu Marriage Act and dissolved the marriage. This order was then challenged by the wife in the High Court. What were the findings of the Madhya Pradesh High Court? In March 2025, the Indore bench of Madhya Pradesh High Court upheld the family court order, thereby allowing divorce on grounds of mental cruelty by the wife. A division bench of Justice Vivek Rushia and Justice Gajendra Singh observed, it is not expected from a wife or husband to indulge into undignified or indecent conversation by way of chatting with male or female friends, as the case may be, that too after marriage. The High Court specifically noted that the father of the wife himself had admitted that his daughter had been in the habit of talking to male friends, due to which his family was ashamed. The bench added, the learned family court has observed that the father of the appellant is a practicing lawyer having 40 to 50 years standing in the bar, but he did not enter the witness box to deny his statement given to the police. While the High Court also relied on the printouts of indecent chats between the appellant wife with her two alleged lovers, it also noted that the wife never filed any FIR against the husband, accusing him of domestic violence. Dissolving the marriage, the Madhya Pradesh High Court concluded, no husband would tolerate that his wife is in conversation through mobile by way of these type of vulgar chatting. After marriage, husband and wife both have the freedom to have a conversation by way of mobile, chatting or other means with friends, but the level of conversation should be decent and dignified, especially when it is with an opposite gender, which may not be objectionable to the life partner. If objection, husband or wife continues with such activities, then certainly it causes mental cruelty. You can read the entire High Court judgment in the description link of this video. Our take in this case is that the marriage lasted only for 1.5 months and the parties have been living separately since April 2019. Though the husband has got relief from the High Court and obviously subject to the wife having an option to approach Supreme Court as well, this judgment comes after a separation of almost 6 years, which are the prime years lost in anyone's life. From the time we remember, we have all grown up with the notion that women are the only victims of domestic abuse and men and the families are the sole perpetrators. In our regular social chats and debates too, most often the arguments surrounding domestic violence or abuse against men will be, oh, how many men suffer? But do we know the reason for this? India does not record any data on such cruelty faced by men, particularly the married men at the hands of their wives. My Nation Hope Foundation, which is a men's rights NGO helping men for nearly 2 decades, has penned an open blog questioning why there are no statistics against crimes faced by men at the hands of women in India. This is one of the most dominant questions every single man needs to ask because laws are formulated based on the data published by NCRB year on year. The blog elaborates that in the year 2005, the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act, that is PWDVA, was specifically enacted to safeguard women against various forms of domestic abuse, including physical, emotional, and economic violence. While this law was a significant step towards protecting women's rights, it did not account for situations where men could also be victims of similar abuse. Effectively, this resulted in the legal gap for the male gender. Further, the article sheds light upon the social stigma faced by men in speaking about such abuse due to the absence of any law in their favor. The blog quotes, there is a deep-rooted perception that men cannot be victims of domestic violence or sexual assault, as these issues are often framed within a traditional gendered lens. Cultural norms that associate masculinity with strength, control, and power create an environment where men feel ashamed to report violence against them. Victims may fear ridicule, mockery, or disbelief from society and authorities, which prevents them from seeking help. Lastly, the article also touches upon the impact of absence of statistics and the need for legal reforms in totality. We are sharing the detailed article in the description link of this video. Do give it a read and forward the same ahead so that we can educate more and more people against the shallow gender debates that have been going on in the country for years. Virat was destined to be a legend, but Anushka made him an icon. Social media calls out this media portal for their post. Indian cricket team and every Indian triumphed as the ICC Champions Trophy came home this year. While some had indulged in body shaming of our captain Rohit Sharma, the team's victory laid most of that controversy to rest. Speaking about our other cricketing hero, King Kohli, who scored just one run in the ICC Champions Trophy final against New Zealand in Dubai on Sunday, yet he finished fifth on the batting charts of the tournament with 218 runs in 5 innings, including a century against Pakistan and a match-winning 50 in semi-final against Australia. While most portals were praising players for their success stories, a media portal by the name of Scoop Whoop put out a detailed post crediting Anushka Sharma, wife of Virat Kohli, for making him an icon. The post published by the portal this week read as follows: "Aren't you feeling at the top of the world after yesterday's win? Well, between all the happy faces, there was one particular photo that had many of us smile and cry at the same time. It was the picture of Virat and Anushka. Virat was destined for greatness in cricket. However, being an icon takes more than the outrageous numbers, and Anushka has been instrumental in this journey." The post that managed to get 27,000 plus likes till date had reactions from social media. One of the users said, "It is not the wife, but an over-enthusiastic PR team. How low can you get?" Another user questioned, "And what about his mom?" The third one said, "Wow, how conveniently one can take credit of your man and blame him for your own failures. So typical. He was successful before she met him and was successful when she left. But the need to keep oneself relevant if your better half becomes successful, oof, this urge, this feminine narcissism." Then the other post read, "I saw the other day Michelle said she made Obama the president of USA. A good PR is better than a wife making icons, just saying." The next user added to the sarcasm and said, "Scoop Whoop missed a massive clickbait by not sharing this on Women's Day, ROFL. If he was not extraordinarily successful, their relationship wouldn't have happened in the first place." The other one says, "I came to know about Virat Kohli only after he married Anushka Sharma." And the last one, which actually hit the nail on the head, "It's so funny how nothing in this world actually belongs to men except failures." While these may be trivial discussions, what are your thoughts on such alleged PR-driven feminist posts? Do let us know in the comments below.
कि पुरुष जो है कोई ATM मशीन नहीं है। जैसे कि हम बीते कई समय से देखते आ रहे हैं, देश के अंदर जो मेंटेनेंस को लेके जो जुडिशरी का रुख है वो बहुत ज़्यादा एक तरीके से बायस्ड है। महिलाएं काम करती हैं, अच्छी तरह से वो कमाती हैं, उसके बाद में भी बगैर कुछ देखे उनको मेंटेनेंस बांध दी जाती है। और सबसे बड़ा दुखद क्या है कि शादी को चाहे 1 घंटा ही क्यों ना हुआ हो और महिला अलग हो जाती है, उसके बाद में ही मेंटेनेंस बांध दी जाती है और सालों तक चलती रहती है। ये एक बहुत दुखद है और इसके अंदर एक कुछ चेक पॉइंट्स होने चाहिए, कुछ एक लिमिटेशन होनी चाहिए। और मेंटेनेंस जो शुरुआत में कानून बना था वो उनके लिए बना था जो निर्धन है या फिर कमज़ोर है उस वर्ग के लिए। मगर आज की तारीख में क्या हो रहा है, महिलाएं कमाती हैं, अच्छी तरह संपन्न होती हैं, तब भी जाके सीधे की सीधे उन पर मेंटेनेंस अवॉर्ड कर दी जाती है। हम बात करते हैं देश की जहाँ कहा जाता है कि महिलाओं को एम्पावर करना चाहिए और 1-1 लाख करोड़ का बजट होता है। मैं तो सरकार से पूछना चाहूँगा, जब आपका 1 लाख करोड़ का बजट है, जो ऐसी महिलाएं मेंटेनेंस और एलिमनी मांगती हैं, तब आप उनको वहाँ पर क्यों नहीं सपोर्ट करते हो? आप क्यों उनको नौकरियां नहीं देते, उनको रोज़गार नहीं देते कि आप वहाँ पर जाइए, आशा केंद्र में काम करिए, कुछ भी काम करिए, MSME छोटे उद्योगों के लिए पैसा मिलता है, वहाँ पर क्यों नहीं काम किया जाता? केवल पुरुषों को ATM मशीन समझ के आपका आलम ये हो गया है, देश के अंदर हर 6.5 मिनट में एक पुरुष सुसाइड कर रहा है। कहीं पर हम लोग अतुल सुभाष को देखते हैं, कहीं पर पुनीत को देखते हैं। ये कोई एक जगह की बात नहीं है, हर देश में हर 6.5 मिनट में एक लड़का सुसाइड कर रहा है। ये बहुत ज्वलनशील मुद्दा है। हमारे देश के युवा जो हैं आज की तारीख में क्या कर रहे हैं, वो अगर उसके बाद शादी कर लेते हैं तो ये मेंटेनेंस का जो कह सकते हैं तलवार लटक जाती है। शादी का जो है लोग करने से डरने लगे हैं। तो ये बहुत ज़रूरी है कि जो शादी का इंस्टीट्यूशन है उसे बचाया जाए और इस तरीके जो लीगल एक्सटॉर्शन चल रहा है और लीगल टेररिज्म है इसे रोका जाना चाहिए। हम लोग देखते हैं कोर्ट के अंदर एप्लीकेशन लगती है, महिलाएं झूठ भी बोल रही होती हैं तो सुना नहीं जाता। कोर्ट उसके अंदर जो परजुरी है उसके ऊपर कोई एक्शन नहीं लेती। आप देखेंगे UK के अंदर, USA के अंदर जजमेंट्स अगर परजुरी की देखेंगे गिनी चुनी मिलेंगी, क्योंकि वहाँ किसी की हिम्मत ही नहीं होती कि कोई झूठ बोल सके कोर्ट में। मगर हमारे यहाँ क्या है कि महिलाएं आती हैं, जो कोई भी झूठा आवेदन देती हैं और 1 मिनट के अंदर जो है उनको तो फिर भी अवार्ड दे दिया जाता है और अगर उनको हम परजुरी की एप्लीकेशन लगाई भी जाती है तो कोर्ट उनको क्या करती है, 500 रुपये जुर्माना दे दिया, 1 घंटे कोर्ट में खड़े हो जाओ। 10-10 साल लड़कों की ज़िंदगी कोर्टों में धक्के खाते हुए लगती है, लाखों रुपए जजेस ले लेते हैं। जजेस कह रहा हूँ मैं, अपना जितना जुडिशियल सिस्टम है वो उसके पास जाता है और आप महिला को अवॉर्ड कर रहे हो 500 रुपये का जुर्माना, तो ये बड़ा शर्मसार है। और कोर्ट के अंदर भी अगर कोई भी चीज़ को लेके पुरुष जाता है कि भाई कितना गलत मेरे साथ हो रहा है, तो कोई सुनवाई नहीं होती। वहाँ पर पहले दिन से मान लिया जाता है कि पुरुष जो है वो तो गुनहगार है। और ये जो जुडिशरी है हमारे यहाँ की, ये बिल्कुल भी किसी भी तरीके से हम बात करते हैं कि भाई इक्वालिटी की, इक्वालिटी कहीं भी नहीं है। ये केवल और केवल पुरुषों को एक तरीके से निचोड़ने का काम करते हैं। बात करनी जा रही होगी कि वो उसने कितना गलत काम हो रहा है, वहाँ पर भी कोर्ट क्या लगेगी, सिर्फ एक ही चीज़ों पे ध्यान देगी कि आप सेटल कर लो। क्यों कर लें? आपने झूठा केस किया, आपने पूरे घर को परेशान कर रखा है, आप क्रुएल्टी कर रही हो, फिर आखिर कोर्ट को हम क्यों आप एलिमनी दें, क्यों मेंटेनेंस दें? तो इसके ऊपर बहुत ज़रूरी है कि ये जो सरकारें हमारे यहाँ की हैं, ये केवल एक तरफा बातें करती हैं, वुमेन वोटमैन को अपनी तरफ लुभाने की कोशिश करती हैं। कहीं पर फ्री बसेस चला रही हैं, कहीं पर 2100 रुपये बांटे जा रहे हैं, कहीं पर 2500 रुपये बांटे जा रहे हैं, कहीं पर क्या कर रहे हो आप, कहीं पर भी बच्चियाँ जो होती हैं उनको आप एक तरीके से जितना भी कहीं लैपटॉप बांटे जा रहे हैं, कहीं साइकिल बांटी जा रही है। देश के अंदर सबसे बड़ा जो पुरुष है वो परेशान है। सबसे ज़्यादा स्कूल ड्रॉप आउट जो होते हैं वो लड़कों के होते हैं, मगर उनको पढ़ाने की कोई बात नहीं करते। आपने देश को आगे बढ़ाना है, महिला पुरुष के साथ दोनों इकट्ठे बढ़ेंगे। ये क्या तरीका हुआ कि आप एक ही जेंडर की बात करते हो? देश के अंदर जानवरों, पेड़ पौधे, कुत्ते बिल्ली, यहाँ की इन्वायरमेंट के लिए मिनिस्ट्री है, मगर 70 करोड़ पुरुषों के लिए कोई जगह नहीं है जहाँ पर वो अपनी बात रख सके, उनकी कोई बात सुन सके। आखिर में वो के पास क्या मिलता है? सुसाइड करने को मिलता है। तो ये जो देश का युवा सुसाइड कर रहा है, ये हमारी सबके मुंह पे तमाचा है। ये हर एक मिनिस्ट्री के ऊपर, हर एक मंत्री के मुंह पे तमाचा है कि आप एक तरफा बात करते करते पुरुषों की लाशों के ऊपर आप केवल वुमेन अपलीसमेंट का काम कर रहे हो। ये बहुत खतरनाक है। आने वाले समय के अंदर जो हमारा देश जो है कैपिटल ऑफ, आप सोचो ना, हर 4.5 मिनट में पुरुष सुसाइड कर रहा है। 1,28,000 सुसाइड, महिलाओं से 3 गुना ज़्यादा सुसाइड है, और उसके बाद में भी आपके पास कोई योजना नहीं है। देश के अंदर ब्रेस्ट कैंसर के लिए सरकार इतना बढ़िया काम करती है, प्रोस्टेट कैंसर जिससे इतने ज़्यादा लड़के मरते हैं, उनके लिए कोई योजना नहीं है। तो ये बड़ा दुखद है और बड़ा शर्मसार है। देश का हैप्पी इंडेक्स जो गिर रहा है वो सिर्फ इसलिए गिर रहा है क्योंकि आप केवल एक जेंडर की बात करते हो, आर्टिकल 14, 15, 21 का खुलेआम धज्जियाँ उड़ाते हो और कुछ नहीं करते। कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का आप कितने सारे कार्यक्रम करते हो, सब कुछ करते हो, केवल और केवल मजाक बना रखा है। केवल और केवल आप एक ही जेंडर की बात करते हो। तो ये तो मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा कि पुरुषों की लाशों के ऊपर इस तरीके से जो आप कर रहे हो, ये बहुत दुखद है। देश के अंदर मेंटेनेंस को लेके बहुत ज़रूरी है काम करना। जो महिलाएं कमज़ोर हैं उनको आप उत्थान की बात करो। 1-1 लाख करोड़ रुपए जो बजट है वो वहाँ पे डाइवर्ट करो। ये केवल आपके एडवर्टीजमेंट के लिए नहीं है, और ये बहुत ज़रूरी है कि जल्द से पुरुष आयोग बनाया जाए। कम से कम जो इतने सुसाइड्स हो रहे हैं उनके ऊपर रोकथाम लगे। धन्यवाद। हम लोग आज यहाँ पर कनॉट प्लेस के अंदर यहाँ पे इकट्ठे हुए हैं। आज हमारा जो मोटिव है उसका है कि सरकार को जताने के लिए, उनको जगाने के लिए कि मैन इज़ नॉट अ ATM मशीन। हमारे देश में हम लोग देखते हैं कि मेंटेनेंस के लॉ जो हैं वो बहुत तरीके से मिसयूज़ करे जा रहे हैं, और जितना भी महिलाएं जो कमाने योग्य होती हैं, कमा भी रही होती हैं, उसके बाद में तो उनके ऊपर मेंटेनेंस जो है उनको अवॉर्ड कर दी जाती है। और अगर जो जितने भी उनके झूठ होता है उसको लेके अगर हम परजुरी की एप्लीकेशन भी फाइल करते हैं तो कोई भी जुडिशरी उसको ढंग से एक्शन नहीं लेती है, और एक तरीके से प्रोत्साहित करा जा रहा है। जितने भी वहाँ पे हम लोग चीज़ों बातों को लेके हम लोग वहाँ पे आवाज़ उठाते हैं पुरुषों की, तो देखने में आता है जुडिशरी उस चीज़ को अप्रिशिएट कर रही होती है, उनको मेंटेनेंस अवार्ड कर देती है, एलिमिनी कर देती है। हम लोग इससे जानना चाहते हैं, जुडिशरी से सवाल उठाते हैं कि आखिर क्या ज़रूरत है कि हम एक टाइम के अंदर मेंटेनेंस जो है उनको अवार्ड, आप लंबे लंबे समय में अवार्ड करे जा रहे हो। कोई टाइम लिमिट नहीं है। महिला चाहे शादी के 1 दिन भी हो या घंटे के लिए भी आती है, उसके तुरंत बाद आप उसको मेंटेनेंस अवार्ड कर देते हो हज़ारों लाखों। ये तरीके से बहुत गलत चीज़ है, इसके ऊपर रोकथाम होनी चाहिए। हम लोग आज जो है यहाँ पर जिस तरह की हम देख रहे हैं देश के अंदर अतुल सुभाष जैसे सुसाइड जो है हर 6.5 मिनट के अंदर।
Keep following us on our social media handles, that is X, Instagram, Facebook and Telegram. The ID is @voiceformenin. You can read several other articles and legal judgments on our website voiceformenindia.com. If you find value in our videos, please consider giving us a like and sharing the same ahead to spread awareness. Lastly, do hit the bell icon and subscribe to our channel Voice for Men India so that you can be regularly updated with new videos. That's it from me as of now. Thank you very much for watching. नमस्ते, जय हिंद।